Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I go over a story titled, Would I be the a-hole if I continued to divorce my wife after she accused me of cheating and kissed somebody else? And a shout out to Bill for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a guy who's been married to his wife 16 years. They got married at like 20 years old. Crazy. And long story short, he's divorcing her because a few months earlier, out of the blue, she accused him of cheating on her. Apparently, she got this information from the absolute worst possible source known to man in their little circle where they live. Completely unreliable, believed it, and at the first chance she got, cheated on him. And then it got out, guess what? This guy's a cheater, and it's a big giant mess. And I thought it'd be throws under the bus somebody and blames on somebody else. It's ridiculous. And I'd be going to go over here, guys, making the point that if you ever get a piece of information, whatever it may be that can cause problems between you and somebody else, particularly a girlfriend or wife, or for you ladies watching this, a boyfriend or husband, even though it can get you all worked up and everything and it's hurtful, verify the information, make sure it's coming from a decent source. If it's coming from a known liar and cheater and scumbag and all that, you might want to take a second before you screw it up. But this also shows oftentimes how, in a situation like this, you can have a couple that got married young, a gal missed out on her wild phase, I'm more like hose phase, and the second information comes up that, gives her an opportunity to jump at that, boom, like that, jumps at it. And of course, blames somebody else for it. Pretty entertaining one. So it starts off, says here, I'm 36 years old, and I've been married to Lily, a 36-year-old female, for 16 years, and together for 21 years. Whoa, got married 20? Smack, way too young. We met freshman year of high school, and up until a couple months ago, we were each other's one and only. We both went to the same college and got married at 20 years old, despite my parents' protest. Way too young. You're freaking kids. We have a 6-year-old child together, and overall, I say we've had a great marriage and family life. Well, not so great, sir, as you're about to find out. Well, 6 months ago, one of my wife's friends, let's call her Adrian, told my wife that I had been cheating on her for years. This guy's like, that's news to me. This is obviously a lie, and she has only did this because she found out that her new ex-husband of 5 years, let's call him Steve, was cheating on her during the entire relationship. And me and him were good friends, and he told her I was cheating as well. Man, what is with these people? Well, that guy's a total scumbag. Completely throwing him under the bus. He didn't do anything. Guess he wants to take everybody else down with him. Now, I have my suspicions that he was cheating on, as he never immediately shut down any female attention whenever we hung out together, and he constantly complained that his wife didn't sleep with him enough, but I never had any solid proof, so I never told his wife. While that may make me a little bit of an a-hole, I never cheated on my wife, nor do I condone cheating. My father cheated on my mother, and I saw how badly that hurt her, and I swore to never do that to my wife. So, there you go. Now, he didn't have any concrete evidence that his so-called friend was cheating, so he didn't go to his wife. He should, if he was going to do that, yes, he'd have to have concrete evidence. Otherwise, no, he shouldn't do that. But his wife automatically believes this guy. Well, we're going to get to just why it is she's just so quick to believe a scumbag. She actually is going to believe the guy is a big giant cheater. That's the last person you should believe. Well, my wife kicked me out and told my parents, her parents, and our friends what her friend told her. 2 months after, she filed for divorce, and I have been dragging out the process. However, 2 months ago, she sent a picture of her kissing another guy and him touching her inappropriately as an incentive to get the divorce. Well, she's not wasting any time getting back in the field. And we'll come back to that later. So this guy didn't do it. Did nothing. Thought he's been a good husband, father, and some cheater, some deceitful scumbag makes up a bunch of crap and his wife just quickly believes it. It'd be one thing if a reputable person told her this guy was cheating. Someone who has a perfect record, a good guy, not this guy. She obviously jumped at this opportunity. I was devastated and really ready to divorce her. However, 2 weeks after Steve confessed, he lied to Adrian, and she told Lily. Oh, how about that? Well, for the past month and a half, she's been begging me to reconcile with her and for us to go to counseling. But honestly, I can't forgive her for the video and her lack of trust in me. She believed Steve's word with zero proof over me, and she slandered my name to my friends and family. Would I be the a-hole if I continue with a divorce? Hell no, brother. One, she didn't believe you, even though you never gave her reason to not believe you. And she believed the last possible person she should. Seemed like she was a little too eager to believe him. We'll come back to that later. And then, without really taking time to think about things, dragged his name through the mud. Friends, family, all that. No. Can't have a relationship, a marriage without trust. He also says here, many of you were wondering why my wife was so quick to believe Adrian without proof, and I have to say that she did have slightly valid reasons not to completely believe me. Now, listen to this. This is, in my opinion, was not that big a deal, but she was using this excuse. He said, me and Steve hung out for hours without our wives multiple times. We went on a couple weekends boys trips with each other and other mutual friends, so the window of opportunity was there. That's not enough. I have in the past got caught lying to my wife, her face, but these were small white lies and not me hiding an affair or something like that. It was mundane stuff like saying I took out the trash when I didn't or was watching our shows without her. Well, the little white lies do add up and they can get you in trouble. Funny how he mentions about not taking out the trash. Man, they come after you for not taking out the trash or forgetting to take out the recycling. Or, God forbid, leaving the toilet seat up. But that's what she's using that. I've admitted to my wife of things I've done in private while publicly denying them, like stealing my brother's wallet when we were younger and then losing it. Again, when you were a kid. Also, when Steve was first confronted about his affair, he said he and his friends would pick up women together, though he didn't name drop me until later. All of this, I said, I understood Lily's hesitation, but ultimately, when push came to shove, she believed Steve, a liar and cheater, over me without proof, and I suffered for months because of it. Now to his updates, because we got two updates here. He says, I decided to take y'all's advice and try marriage counseling. Smack! Yeah, it's going to work out real well, given that what she did, but we're not done yet. I'll probably be starting individual therapy later, but right now I just don't have the time. We had the first session a week ago, and it was brutal for me and Lily. It essentially went down like this. The therapist said the main issue was a lack of trust in our marriage, and I responded, how can I trust that she didn't sleep with the guy from the video when I have some new damning evidence to reveal that she did more than just kiss a guy in the video? Uh-oh. Remember, supposedly all she did was kiss a guy in a video that she met at a bar and he was fondling her. But this guy, not quite believing it, didn't go further than that. I may sound crazy for this, but after confirming what bar and what day and what time she took the video, I went there and I told the manager that my wife got ASSAULTED by a man there, and we were trying to get evidence for the police, and I would like access to their security cameras. He's playing with fire with that one. I know where he's going with this, but be careful, man. I did have to reassure the bar that I was not trying to sue them or anything like that, purely just trying to get the video. They let me in back, and after giving them the time slots when my wife said they met up and started kissing, after seeing what I already knew happened, I saw on the camera that Lily and her friend left, but her and the guy were crossed arms like a couple. The manager said it looks like your wife was not ASSAULTED, and she lied to you to cover up her cheating. Well, he knows that, but that's just his cover story to get the video. But she left with that guy. I got the security recording on my phone and showed Lily in therapy. I said, you swore you didn't go home with him, but here you are, leaving together. She started breaking down crying, Hobag Handbook Chapter 2, and confirmed what me and others had already suspected, and that she did indeed sleep with him. Well, add that to the list of reasons why he wants to get rid of her. It's almost like she's resented the fact that they got together so young, and she didn't get to have her wild phase and jumped at the opportunity. Well, let's see. I asked her, how could you try and get us back together while lying that you didn't sleep with the guy while you obviously did? She said she knew I wouldn't take her back if I knew that deep down she never wanted to hurt me that bad. That's why she only sent me the video of them kissing and not a spicy SCX tape. She didn't do that to prevent him from hurting. She was very much wanted to hurt him. She didn't send him a video of her getting it on and parts flying all over the place because there's a possibility he could have shown her parents. and friends and all that. That's why. I was devastated and started tearing up a bit too, even though we both weren't each other's first kiss. We were each other's one and only regarding being intimate partners. I always compared us to Lily and Marshall from How I Met Your Mother because of the similarities we have to them. Now that it's just ruined. The counselor asked how I wanted to respond to this new information. I told her what I just told y'all above, and honestly, in my anger, I said that our marriage wasn't special anymore, and that I don't see how we can have a loving relationship, and that above all else, I too want to sleep with another person since she got to explore others. I understand he's pissed off and he's hurt and a whole roller coaster of emotions, but that's not the solution. It really isn't, even though it pisses her off and she'll freak out. There's too many reasons here this is just not going to work. This is a freaking mess. Well, this caused Lily to start hyperventilating, okay, drama queen, and she eventually left me and the counselor and continued to talk and said that my feeling of wanting to get back at her is exactly how Lily felt and is what drove her to do what she did. She told me that getting back at your partner is not how you fix a marriage and gave me some exercises to do with Lily. Well, she is right about that, but this isn't going to work. That was a week ago, and me and Lily have talked, and I told her I haven't slept with anybody because I haven't. We have another session tomorrow, but after that last one, I wanted to know if you all think this marriage is still worth fighting for. No. I haven't told anybody about the Reddit post yet, nor I have told my family, her family, and friends that Lily did indeed sleep with a guy. Well, you should tell them, because you need to control the narrative. She told your family and friends and the mailman that you cheated on her when you didn't. You need to control the narrative, because in their eyes, you're this big giant scumbag. She had no problem throwing you under the bus when she got the wrong information from the worst possible source. Now the final update to how this whole thing turns out. He says, well, we just had our second counseling session yesterday, and it's been a lot. First and foremost, I'll get straight to the point. We are getting a divorce. Yep. There's no going back after all this. I'm still mourning the marriage because I am resolute about the decision and kind of excited to start a new chapter in life. As I feel before this whole thing started, my life was in limbo and going through the motions. Now on to the update. When we came to the counselor, they asked me if I still felt like our marriage was not special anymore. I told her yes, and honestly, I think we should just get a divorce. I expected Lily to start freaking out again, but surprisingly, she agreed. I asked her what changed from a week ago, and she said that hearing me talk about our marriage the way I did made her realize that I was truly done and that it would be selfish of her to continue to fight for something deep down she can't tell I didn't want. I told her that I appreciate that, and despite that, I still love her, but I just couldn't be with her for at least the foreseeable future. Smack! No future. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. We're going to get to the big reason why momentarily. I asked her why she decided to believe others over me despite 21 years together. That's a good question. I told her that's really the crux of the issue for me, and not the sex part, even though that stung. I could still rationalize that part, but couldn't rationalize you not believing me. She said that maybe the seeds were planted in by my mother over the years because she frequently talked about my dad's affairs and how she had no idea because he acted normal and loving and was a great husband on the outside of that. She said that 2 decades of my mom telling her that story created some underlying suspicions in me. Oh, blame it all on the mother-in-law, huh? Mother-in-law's telling the story about this guy's father cheating on her. And, I guess if the father cheated, then this guy here is going to cheat. No, that's a bunch of crap. That's an excuse. But we're not done yet. Also, she did still resent me a little bit. Resent? What could he possibly done to cause her to resent him? 6 years ago, when we both turned 30, we both started thinking about the fact that we never got the chance to be true individuals, and then she got pregnant not long after, so we definitely felt like we couldn't leave now. True individuals, meaning obviously be single on your own and a wild phase. Because remember, they started dating at 15, high school sweethearts, like junior high sweethearts, got married at 20. She didn't get to have the wild phase. Blames him. So we did have multiple conversations about that, and I truly believe that we had gotten past that, especially after the birth of our baby, as Lily did not experience the postpartum depression, so it was a very happy time for both of us. But apparently, she never truly stopped resenting the idea that we were tied to each other, so when she thought I had cheated, she figured that sacrifice was all for nothing, and wanted to take that opportunity to explore before she started menopause. There you go. Oh, the devil just told me my good husband cheated on me. No problem. I'm going to go out and hook up with some guy at the bar. And blame my mother-in-law for planting this seed in my head for 20 years that even my good husband's a cheater. She jumped at that opportunity. That's how I interpret it. While that hurt to hear, I can sympathize, as that's part of the reason I was ready to divorce, as I wanted to start exploring as well, and was adamant about coming to this therapy session to ask for either a hall pass, an open marriage, as a requirement for reconciliation. Smack! That's not going to work. It'd be a mess. Well, after that revelation from her, I told her that I would not be fighting for sole custody, as I wanted to see our child as much as possible, but I still wanted her in their life too. She says she won't stand in the way, and I believe her because during all this, she never withheld our child from me, so I don't think she'll start now. I did ask her if she ever stepped out on me in our marriage, and I said our marriage is already over, and I just need to know the truth. There is no way she's going to tell him the truth, even if she did. She said she never cheated during our marriage, and the bar situation was the first time, and that she was intimate with somebody else outside of me. Well, interesting, because she certainly acted like she was rather comfortable with that whole situation. She says she would do a paternity test, at least, to prove my son is mine, if I didn't believe her. But I do believe her and probably won't take the paternity test, as my son looks just like me. I reaffirmed to her that I never cheat as well. Honestly, I feel like a huge weight is off my shoulders, and I don't really have to worry about the divorce as much as we've already in the process of 2 months ago. I do wish things could have been different, but it's probably the best not to get back together right now. Dude, it's not a good idea to get back together altogether. Look how quickly she jumped at the opportunity to hook up with some other dude and threw her name under the bus and believed the last possible person she'd have believed. And now all of a sudden she's like, yeah, we should break up. I do can see us reconciling 5 to 10 years from now, but time apart is probably the best for both of us. No, she's going to try to reconcile. When she sees at 36 years old that the dating market's a mess, and he'll see that too, don't get me wrong, but it's vastly harder for her beyond guys that just want to bang her, she'll be back, and I hope he's all the wiser why not to. Also, I did show Lily and the counselor my 2 posts, and while the counselor didn't think it was a good idea I brought online strangers into my marriage, she did say it's good, at least I found someplace to vent. Thank you all to everyone who listened and gave me advice. I really do appreciate their support. Well, once again, Reddit has helped out another brother. A lot of times Reddit makes other brothers crazy. So guys, like I was saying in the intro here, she just, in my opinion, I get you being hurt. You hear your girlfriend or your wife's cheating, of course, that's going to make you full of emotions. But you got to realize where, and take a moment to take in where that piece of information is coming from. Again, if the dude that told his wife this piece of information, which was a lie, was a very honest, reputable person, then I can see her certainly getting upset and wanting to end it. But it came from a fucking known cheater, a guy who was a piece of shit who also threw his friend under the bus making up stuff. We didn't hear anything about that guy. That guy deserved an ass whooping. But putting that aside, and jumped at the opportunity. And then realized, it was a lie, and she's busted. It probably didn't work out with the guy she wanted it to. And then blames the mother-in-law over this whole thing? Good Lord. So, sadly, it's over. And that's just another family broken up. A marriage busted over just stupid, irrational, hot-headed bullshit, you know? But our guy here, he's going to make out a lot better than her. And I do hope it works out for the little kid. And it will in the end, but still, it's just not a great situation. So the moral of the story is to everyone out there, men and women, you get upsetting information. At the very least, take the time to realize where it's coming from. That's all I'm saying. If it's a reputable source, that's one thing. Unreputable source, take some time. Seriously. Anyhow, there you go. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. If you like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.